It's not just the naming of this museum and library. Pawan Verma accusing your government, Dr. Trivedi, of systematically denigrating the image, the legacy and the standing and esteem of India's first Prime Minister.
I would like to remind, when our government came into power 2014, it was 125th year of Jawaharlal Nehru ji. Our government celebrated it with full pomp and show, and then Home Minister Sri Rajya Singh was the chairman of that committee. And if they are trying to portray that we want to undermine the legacy, I would like to ask Rahul, can they show how many pictures of Congress leaders visited Nehru Memorial before? Today is the age of social media. I can challenge, even show the 5 pictures. They have nothing to do with the legacy of Jawaharlal Nehru. None of the senior leader in the recent year has ever visited them and shown. And forget about that. We had made Sardar Patel's statue. Modi ji has made the tallest statue in the world. Not even a single Congress leader has gone. They are ready to disrespect their own leader if at all it has got connected with Modi ji. So it was a disrespect to legacy. We have given Padma awards to even Tarun Gogoi, S.C. Zamir, Pranab Mukherjee. They were the senior Congress leaders, Bharat Ratna Pranab Mukherjee, and they are saying we want to disrespect. The problem is not. The problem is they want the one and exclusively right. I would like to ask one question. बहुत गर्व से लोग कहते थे हमने आनंद भवन दान कर दिया और 3 मूर्ति भवन ले लिया. I think 3 मूर्ति भवन will be having 10 or 20 times more cost than the Anand Bhavan of Allahabad or Prayagraj. And then you are saying, I have donated for the sake of the country, but I want this entire government property exclusively to me. I think this is disrespect to, if you are having any respect for Jawaharlal Nehru, if you are having a true respect for Jawaharlal Nehru, it's okay. But one more thing, I want to say that Nehru ji has done some good works also. The steel plants, IITs and others. But giving exclusive and one and only credit to him is wrong. Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore, was established in 1917, sir. The first power project was Shiva Samudram project by Vishwasaraya in Karnataka. You know which was the first city outside Europe to have the street light? It was Bangalore in 1902. Kolar mines have got electricity. Maharaja Mysore have started the first
Pawan
eye hospital
wants to come in. I think Sudhanshu Trivedi has an important point on the Sardar Patel statue. He says that, you know, Prime Minister Modi built the largest statue for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Congress leaders aren't flocking there, which is unfair because he is ultimately a congressman. His charge is simple. It's not Congress leaders that you care about. You care about a particular surname. You care about a particular family. And that's all that the Congress cares about. Because Pawan Verma has his hand up, I'm going to let him respond first. Pawan.
No, first of all, for my friend Sudhanshu, to quote what was done in 1902 and 1907 under the British, I believe with all respect, is irrelevant. Nobody is saying that Jawaharlal Nehru did everything. And I believe the attempt by the
Maharaja Mysore, it was not by Britishers.
That is wrong. Maharaja Mysore under the larger rubric of British colonial rule. Now, let me complete my point, Sudhanshu. Now, I believe that the real problem is that the ruling party, the BJP, has a systematic attempt over these last 9 years. Atal Bihari Vajpayee didn't have it. There is a famous story of how he restored the portrait of Panditji in the office of External Affairs Minister, which sycophants had removed when he came to power. But in the last 9 years, I believe it is unbecoming of a party which won absolute majority to, in a way, and it's very clear and obvious, Rahul, you as a journalist will understand, to sidetrack Panditji and to focus more on what his faults or what his failings might have been than on his contribution to the making
let
of modern
Madhusudan
India.
Gupta respond. It's not just about nomenclature, it's a systematic degrading of a legacy, faults being highlighted and as many genuine successes and achievements being sought to be ignored. Harsh Madhusudan Gupta.
Rahul, what is unbecoming is for a 5th generation dynast to be in politics today, laying claim or to power or wanting to have power on the basis of nothing but the family name, because Rahul Gandhi obviously has not been a chief minister or a cabinet minister, etc. So it's very clear the only source of credibility he wants to tap into is the Nehru Indira dynasty, and therefore it is obvious that that legacy will be more politicized. Now, coming to Nehruji's legacy himself, I would say let us distinguish between Nehru and Nehruvians. Nehru was a very complex man, a man of letters. I agree with Pawanji that we should give him some credit, although I think he mentioned that he created Indian democracy. I think that was a bit exaggerated. Nehruji famously in 1937 for Modern Review wrote an article with the pseudonym Chanakya saying that we should be beware of Caesars like this Jawaharlal Nehru. And Nehru famously actually then did make Indira Gandhi the president of the Congress party while he was alive in the late 1950s. He dismissed state governments when he was alive. And the first amendment of the Indian Constitution, a lot of people don't know this, was passed by Nehru before the first elections. So the quote-unquote the parliament that passed the first constitutional amendment, which reduced free speech, which reduced private property rights, was actually not passed by the first parliament of India, but by basically the Constituent Assembly, which had already declared the constitution. So I think Nehruji is a very complicated personality. I think he is much more Hindu than his opponents think, just like Modi is much more modernist than his opponents think. But the reality is, if a fifth generation dynasty is in Indian politics, it is only to be expected that a particular side of that family is patriarch. Well, patriarch was Motilal Nehru, but the second generation in this case will be highlighted. So I really don't find it surprising
Rohan
at all.
Gupta, respond to the charge that he's not as much of a Democrat as he's made out to be, because ultimately, while he was living, he made Indira Gandhi Congress president. So much for democracy. That is the Parivarvad that Prime Minister Modi seeks to oppose, and that is the legacy he's wishing to dismantle.
Rahul, I am not surprised that party which is in power for last 9 to 10 years, because they are not successful in their agenda, obviously they have to look into history, and this is the most pathetic side of BJP. Here it's not about any, we are talking about the legacy of the country, we are talking about the history of the country, we are talking about the first Prime Minister who has contributed in building the country. Where is the question of one family? Where is the question of fifth generation here? We are not talking Mr. Nehru as family member of Rajiv Gandhi or Indira Gandhi. We are talking Mr. Nehru as the Prime Minister of this country. And I think this is really bad sign that we are going in history and finding the faults now. No, everybody together, whether it is Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji or Nehru ji, all the Prime Minister, all the parties have built India. And party who is in power today, they have to take responsibility of failures rather than looking into rear mirror and questioning the past decisions. This is not the way India was built. Nobody questioned when we were in power. If suppose we made mistakes, we admitted those mistakes. We never went back and told them, no, this is not our mistake. This is the style of BJP's functioning last 10 years, that whatever failures you, whether it is China, whether it is Pakistan, whether it is Pulwama, they will raise questions on Congress, and people of country, they know it. You are voted into power to deliver what promises you gave to people. You are voted to power because you promised big, big things. And today, after 10 years, where you are not able to deliver, you are questioning the past prime ministers, past governments. I don't think so that is justified, Rahul.